Welcome back to Garden Guru. If your flower beds keep costing money but still don't look better, there's a good chance you're spending in the wrong order. A few flowers here, fresh mulch there, maybe some edging, maybe another trip to the garden center, and somehow the bed still feels off. So in this video, I'm ranking the biggest flower bed mistakes that waste money so you can stop buying random fixes and start building beds that actually work. And stick around, because near the end, I'll give you the one question that can save you the most money before you buy another plant. One of the most frustrating things about flower beds is that they can look like a place where you're making progress. You buy plants, you add mulch, you edge the bed, you try a little color, you bring home something pretty from the nursery. And yet somehow, the bed still doesn't feel calm, intentional, or finished. That's because flower beds usually do not improve just because money was spent. They improve when the money gets spent on the right things in the right order. So let's count down the biggest flower bed mistakes that waste money and still leave the bed looking wrong. Number 8. Buying color before structure. This is one of the easiest mistakes to make because color is what grabs people first. At the nursery, the blooming plants look exciting. They look cheerful. They look like progress. So people start with the flowers. The problem is, pretty color cannot fix a flower bed that has no anchor, no shape, no rhythm, and no real structure. And when that happens, the bed can end up feeling like little pops of color floating in space. That usually means the flowers are doing too much work. They're trying to create beauty, structure, fullness, and focus all at once. And that's not really their job. Color works best when the bed already has a strong framework underneath it. So if your bed still feels weak, buying more blooms may not actually solve the problem. It may just give you a prettier version of the same unclear design. Number 7. Buying one of everything. This one wastes money because it feels smart in the moment. You go to the nursery and think, I like that one, and maybe one of these too. And very quickly, the cart is full of plants that are all individually attractive, but not actually helping the bed work together. This is how flower beds turn into collections of purchases instead of designs. Because once every plant is different, the eye has nowhere to settle, nothing repeats, nothing gains visual strength, and the bed starts feeling random even if every plant is healthy. Repetition is one of the cheapest and strongest design tools you have. If you repeat a few plants or a few forms, the bed starts feeling intentional much faster. If every plant is different, the bed usually feels more expensive and less resolved. So this mistake is not just about clutter. It's about paying for variety when what the bed really needed was cohesion. Number 6. Spending money on mulch before fixing the bed shape. Fresh mulch is one of the most satisfying flower bed upgrades there is. It makes things look cleaner almost instantly. It makes the plants stand out. It feels like a reset. But mulch does not fix a weak bed shape. If the bed line is awkward, disconnected, too thin, or not doing much for the house or yard, fresh mulch usually just makes that weak shape look more obvious. And that is frustrating because now the bed looks freshly maintained, but still not well designed. This is one of those mistakes where the money did something, just not enough. Because mulch helps finish a bed. It does not create the structure of the bed. So if the bed shape is wrong, the smarter move is usually to fix the line first, then mulch the bed once the shape actually supports the space. That way, the mulch is reinforcing something strong instead of highlighting something weak. Number 5. Choosing plants that are too small for the space. This one is incredibly common, especially in larger flower beds. People buy lots of smaller nursery plants, spread them out across a wide bed, and think the bed is planted. Technically, it is, but visually it can still feel empty. That's because tiny plants spread across a large area usually do not create enough visual weight. So even though money has been spent, the bed may still look sparse, scattered, underpowered, or unfinished. This happens a lot when people underestimate how much scale matters. A bigger bed usually needs at least some plants with enough size or mass to help hold the space. Otherwise, the eye reads mostly mulch and gaps, and that can be discouraging because you know the bed has plants in it, but it still doesn't look like much. This doesn't mean every plant has to be huge. It means the bed needs enough scale somewhere to feel grounded. A few stronger plants often do more for a flower bed than many tiny ones trying to fill the same space. Number 4. Ignoring mature size. This mistake wastes money twice. First, when the plant is bought, and again later when it has to be moved, cut back constantly, crowded out, divided awkwardly, or replaced completely. This usually happens because people shop for the plant as it looks today, instead of how it will behave later, and a flower bed built only for the first month often turns into a problem by year 2 or year 3. Plants that look nicely spaced when they're small can become overcrowded. Plants that seemed manageable can swallow nearby plants, and suddenly the bed needs editing, moving, replacing, or rescuing. That is expensive, and it usually also makes the bed less stable visually, because once plants start outgrowing the plan, the design starts breaking apart. So one of the smartest ways to save money in a flower bed is to respect mature size from the start. That does not just save maintenance, it saves redesign. Number 3. Buying plants that don't fit the conditions. This is one of the most direct forms of wasted money in a flower bed. Wrong sun, wrong soil, wrong drainage, wrong moisture, wrong exposure. When a plant is placed somewhere it does not actually want to be, one of two things usually happens. Either it struggles slowly and never really performs, or it declines fast enough that you end up replacing it. Either way, the money goes out and the bed still doesn't improve. And this is where a lot of frustration starts, because the homeowner often thinks, I bought good plants, why doesn't this look better? But a good plant in the wrong place is still the wrong purchase. This is why conditions matter so much more than impulse. You can love the plant, you can have seen it in a beautiful photo, it can even be healthy at the nursery, but if it does not fit the bed's actual conditions, it's probably not going to reward the investment. And in a flower bed, repeated replacement is one of the fastest ways to spend money without building anything lasting. Number 2. Forgetting repetition. I know I bring this one up a lot, but this is one of the biggest reasons a flower bed can be expensive but still not feel designed. Because without repetition, the bed reads like shopping, not composition. You may have nice plants, healthy plants, colorful plants, even expensive plants. But if they do not repeat in a meaningful way, the bed often feels scattered. Repetition is what helps the eye connect one part of the bed to another. It creates rhythm, it creates stability, it creates calm. And it does not have to be complicated. It can be repeating one shrub form, repeating one perennial in several spots, repeating one foliage texture, repeating one color family, or repeating one plant grouping size. That repetition makes the bed feel intentional. Without it, the bed often feels like a series of one-time purchases. And that is why forgetting repetition wastes money. Because the bed can contain plenty of nice things and still not look unified. Number 1. Spending before deciding the job of the bed. This is the biggest mistake because it controls everything else. Before you buy plants, before you mulch, before you edge, before you fill the cart, the most important question is, what is this flower bed supposed to do? Is it supposed to frame the house, guide the walkway, soften the foundation, add seasonal color, create privacy, anchor the yard, soften a fence, make an entry feel more welcoming? If that job is not clear, then almost every purchase becomes a guess. And when purchases are guesses, money gets wasted fast. Because one plant may be trying to add color, another may be trying to create structure, another may be trying to fill empty space, another may just be there because it looked nice at the nursery. And now the bed has no clear direction. That is the master problem. Because a flower bed with no job becomes a place where random decisions pile up. But once the job is clear, buying gets easier. Then you can ask, does this plant help the bed do its job? Does this shape help the bed do its job? Does this repetition help the bed do its job? Does this purchase actually move the bed forward? That question alone can save a lot of wasted money, because the most expensive flower bed is usually not the one with the most plants. It's the one where the homeowner keeps buying without a clear purpose. So if you want to stop wasting money in your flower beds, the big things to watch for are buying color before structure, buying one of everything, mulching before fixing the bed shape, choosing plants that are too small, ignoring mature size, buying plants that do not fit the conditions, forgetting repetition, and most importantly, spending before deciding the actual job of the bed. Because once you know the bed's role, everything else gets easier. What to buy, what not to buy, how much repetition to use, how much structure you need, and where your money will actually make a difference. And here's the one question I'd ask before buying anything else for a flower bed. What is this bed supposed to do? If the answer is unclear, the spending is probably about to become random. That one question can save you from impulse plant buying, too much variety, weak structure, bad scale, and wasted money on things that never solve the real problem. Well, there you have it. I hope this helped you feel more confident about the flower bed mistakes that waste money and still don't deliver the result people want. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep getting your hands dirty. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Garden Guru, and I'll see you in the next one.